What if tonight you look up at the sky and the moon is just gone? No warning, no explosion, no sound, just an empty, dark sky staring back at Earth. Would the oceans freeze in place? Would nights last forever? Would life on Earth survive even a single year? Or would humanity collapse within days? For more than 4 billion years, the moon has silently watched over Earth. It has guided ocean tides, stabilized the planet's rotation, and helped shape the evolution of life itself. Long before humans existed, the moon was already doing its work, acting as a guardian in the darkness of space. Yet most of us barely think about it. We see it as background scenery, something beautiful but insignificant. That illusion disappears the moment we imagine Earth without it. So stay with me, because over the next few minutes, you're going to discover just how fragile life on Earth truly is, and why the moon may be the single most important object in the sky, far more important than we ever realized. To understand what happens when the moon disappears, we first need to ask some basic questions. Who put the moon there in the first place? When did it become such a powerful force on Earth's survival? And how has life depended on it for so long without us noticing? Scientists believe the moon formed about 4.5 billion years ago, when a Mars-sized object collided with the early Earth. The debris from that massive impact eventually came together to form the moon. Since then, it has been orbiting Earth, quietly shaping the planet's rhythm. It slowed Earth's rotation, influenced the oceans, and stabilized Earth's tilt. And if that stabilizing force were suddenly removed, the effects would be immediate and devastating. The first thing to change would be the oceans. The moon's gravity is the primary force behind Earth's tides. Without it, tides wouldn't disappear entirely, but they would shrink to about 1/3 of their current strength. That may not sound catastrophic at first, but tides are essential to ocean health. They circulate nutrients, cleanse coastlines, and support marine ecosystems. Without strong tides, pollution would accumulate along shores, oxygen levels would drop, and marine life would begin to collapse. Fish that rely on tidal patterns for migration would lose their sense of direction. Coral reefs would struggle to survive. Coastal ecosystems that support millions of people would slowly decay. Over time, fishing industries would collapse, and food shortages would begin to spread across the globe. But the oceans are only the beginning. The real danger comes from what happens to Earth itself. The moon acts like a stabilizer for Earth's axis, keeping the planet tilted at a relatively constant angle. This stable tilt is what gives us predictable seasons. Without the moon, Earth's tilt could begin to wobble dramatically, shifting anywhere between 0 and 85 degrees over long periods of time. This wobble would completely disrupt Earth's climate system. The stable balance that controls our seasons would vanish, turning predictable weather into chaos. Summers could become unbearably hot, while winters might stretch on for years without relief. In some parts of the world, temperatures would swing so violently that life could no longer adapt. Forests would die, oceans would struggle to sustain life, and entire ecosystems would collapse under the pressure of constant and unpredictable change, pushing the planet toward environmental instability unlike anything humanity has ever experienced. And then there is the darkness. Without the moon, nights would become dramatically darker. Moonlight has guided animals for millions of years. Many species hunt, migrate, and reproduce based on lunar cycles. Without that natural light, their biological clocks would be thrown into chaos. Predators would struggle to hunt, prey would lose their sense of safety, entire food chains would break apart. Humans would not be spared from these changes. Our entire agricultural system depends on stable seasons and predictable weather patterns.
Without the moon to stabilize Earth's climate, planting and harvesting cycles would fail across the world. Storms would grow stronger and more chaotic, arriving without warning. Droughts would dry entire regions, while sudden floods would destroy others. Within just a few months, food supplies would begin to shrink, prices would soar, and hunger would spread. Within just a few years, societies around the globe would face extreme pressure, pushing modern civilization to its limits. So when would this situation become truly deadly? Not instantly, but quickly enough to matter. Within months, ecosystems would collapse. Within years, survival would become a daily struggle. Humanity might not go extinct immediately, but the comfortable, stable world we know today would be gone forever. This brings us to the most important question of all. Why does the moon matter so much? Because the moon doesn't just orbit Earth, it protects it. It slows Earth's rotation, preventing extreme winds. It stabilizes the planet's climate. It controls the oceans and gives life a predictable rhythm. Without the moon, Earth would be a far more hostile place. In fact, many scientists believe intelligent life may never have evolved here at all without the moon's presence. The conditions that allowed life to grow, adapt, and eventually become self-aware may have depended entirely on that single object in the sky. So tonight, when you look up and see the moon, remember this: it's not just a rock floating in space. It's a guardian, a stabilizer, and a silent reason we're alive today. And if it ever disappeared, Earth would never be the same again. If this makes you see the universe differently, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more stories that reveal the hidden forces shaping our world. Because sometimes the most important things in our lives are the ones we stop noticing.